Imagine a world tearing itself apart, brothers against brothers, families split, and an entire republic on the brink of collapse. This wasn't a distant fantasy. This was the reality of ancient Rome. In 49 BC, join us as we dive into one of history's most dramatic conflicts, Caesar's civil war. For a century leading up to this moment, Roman politics was a powder keg waiting for a spark. The republic was at the mercy of powerful, ambitious men. At the heart of this was a deep ideological split in the Senate. On one side, you had the populares, the people's men, who claimed to represent the common citizens, their champion, the one and only Julius Caesar. On the other side were the optimates, the best men, who fought to protect the interests of the wealthy elite. Their leader, the celebrated General Pompey the Great. This wasn't a new fight. For decades, figures like Tiberius Gracchus and Marius had risen on the populares' wave, while generals like Sulla had violently pushed back for the optimates. Sulla even did the unthinkable. He marched his army on Rome itself, not once, but twice, to crush his political rivals. This set a dangerous precedent. Now, in 50 BC, the optimates, led by Pompey, were growing increasingly nervous. They watched with alarm as Julius Caesar, the popular hero, was finishing his spectacular conquest of Gaul, amassing wealth, glory, and an incredibly loyal army. The stage was set for a monumental clash. But here's the twist. Just 10 years earlier, Caesar and Pompey were allies. Along with a third man, the fabulously wealthy Crassus, they formed a secret pact known as the First Triumvirate. Together, they bypassed the Senate and controlled Rome. But these alliances of ambition are fragile. In 53 BC, Crassus was killed on a disastrous campaign in the east. Suddenly, the three-legged stool became a wobbly two-legged bench. With Caesar away fighting in Gaul, Pompey stayed in Rome, slowly drifting away from his old ally and cozying up to the Senate, Caesar's political enemies. As 50 BC drew to a close, the tension reached its breaking point. The Senate, backed by Pompey, demanded that Caesar disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. They knew this would leave him vulnerable to prosecution for his past actions. Caesar knew it too. He marched his veteran legion to the edge of northern Italy, to the banks of a small river called the Rubicon. This river marked the legal boundary of his command. To cross it with an army was an act of treason, an act of war. Standing before his loyal soldiers, Caesar gave a powerful speech. He laid out the situation: face political ruin and likely imprisonment, or defy the Senate and fight for his honor and his future. According to the historian Suetonius, it was here that Caesar uttered the famous words, "Alia iacta est," the die is cast. He led his army across the Rubicon. There was no turning back. Civil war had begun. Caesar's move was audacious and swift. He raced down the Italian peninsula towards Rome. Pompey, caught off guard, knew his own troops in Italy were no match for Caesar's battle-hardened legions from Gaul. He needed time to rally his forces and resources scattered across the vast Roman territories. So, Pompey and much of the Senate made a strategic retreat, abandoning Italy and sailing to Greece, where their support was strongest. Caesar entered Rome unopposed, but the war was far from over. Instead of pursuing Pompey directly, Caesar made a bold decision. He turned west, heading for Spain, a key Pompeian stronghold. His logic was simple. He couldn't leave a hostile army at his back. In Spain, he faced experienced enemy soldiers fighting on their home turf. It was a huge gamble that would set the tone for the brutal, world-changing conflict to come. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey into ancient Rome. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.